Yesterday I shit myself right in the city center. And this is not funny. A healthy man shits his pants. And it happened like this. I was walking down the street, not touching anyone, and then I wanted to fart. And on the street, on a frosty day, God himself ordered to give soot. And I especially love this business. Give it a gas. I'm still an expert in this matter. When I let gas in at home, my neighbor's burners go out due to air pressure. So, I decided to fart. He farted when he farted, and even then he realized that he had farted his own. I stand there and shit right in my pants, and I can't do anything about it. Shit just creeps in, without even asking my permission for this process. I've always wondered why, when you're graying at home, you're calmly graying in portions. I squeezed 100 grams out of myself and cut it off with my butt, then turned the page in the newspaper, ran through the headlines and again squeezed out a portion of the porridge. When you shit your pants, you can't go and talk about any portion of fecal cavity. The ass stupidly opens and shit comes out. Moreover, the asshole opens so wide that I get the impression that she, without my consent, is participating in the competition Pick Cats with a diameter of 30 centimeters and win a mobile phone. The question is, why does my ass need a mobile phone? I'm standing, already sweating, in the very center of the city, walking home like walking to Moscow on my knees. I'm standing there, trying to find a way out in my head. Something needs to be done. I had to hobble around on foot for 3 hours, and this with my underpants full of shit. I cut that thought off right away. Then, I figured it was freezing outside. Let me think. I'll sit down on a bench, the shit will freeze, and then I'll go to the subway, and so I'll run home. I sat down on the bench and sat there. It was still warm in my ass. And here's the thought, if the shit in your underpants freezes, the same thing will happen to your eggs. I even felt bad from this thought. Got up. People avoid me for some reason. Apparently they understood that I was planning something. And I stand there and just can't figure it out. Then a brilliant thought came to me. I'll go into the entrance now, get into the elevator, take off my panties, wipe my ass with them, and quickly go home. So, I go into the entrance and call the elevator. I'm standing there, and the shit is already starting to cool down, frankly speaking. The feeling is not wonderful. At the entrance, I realized one more thing. I really stank. Like unwashed cattle, and the stink was strong. The elevator has arrived. I get in, press the button for the 14th floor, and unbutton my pants with my other hand, so that there will be enough time until the elevator arrives. The doors began to close, and then a cute female creature FLIs into the elevator. "Oh, you're on the 14th floor, and I'm on the 13th, she sang. "Well, I'll ride with you. Then I'll go down to the floor. Of course we'll drive. I already pressed the button on my shoulder while I was buttoning up my pants. The elevator started moving, and I was done. My head was noisy, my back was sweating, and the shit had already completely cooled down. And I started to think that the smell in the elevator was very strong, because this creature looked at me somehow strangely. And I was frozen. Like, why didn't I shit in the elevator and that's it? And the fucker, where that elevator on the 10th floor made a big curtsy to us, said goodbye to us, and the lights went out. I almost shit myself again. The elevator is stuck. Oh, is the elevator really stuck? The girl asked. As I understand it, yes, I'm pretending to be an intellectual, and I'm thinking about what to do with my shit and my dirty ass. But something needs to be done. And then this little thing presses some button and starts talking to someone, giving the address of the house and asking for help. I imagined that now the fitters would come and start taking us out of here and asking why it stank so much like shit. I wanted to shit even more. It's dark in the elevator, and then I realized that while it was dark in the elevator, I had to quickly take off my pants, then take off my panties and quietly put them in a corner. And when she turns on the light, she's not used to seeing the light. I unbutton my pants, rustling things so much that it's even scary. "What are you doing?" she asked, swallowing hard. "Yes, I'm making myself more comfortable. It's a long wait, and I lower my pants." "What's that smell?" she asked, frightened. I really almost blurted out that it was me who took a shit on the street and that's why I stink like shit, but I say something else. Yes, bastards are shitting in elevators. I can't breathe, and I've already completely taken off my pants. I'm standing in the elevator in shitty panties. I thought that now the lights would be turned on, the girl would really give up on what she saw. But there is nothing left to do. I continue to work. The girl began to swallow saliva very loudly. Apparently she shit herself out of fright. And I rustle things. I'm thinking to myself how I can manage to quietly take off my panties. And then I imagined what a stench it would be. Man, you won't hurt me. I beg you, don't touch me. The girl whined loudly. Are you out of your mind? I'm the father of two children. I'm going to see a friend on an important issue. How could you think such a thing about me? I answer confidently, and I myself began to unstick my panties from my ass. Damn, it stinks like shit when you shit your pants. It doesn't stink like a toilet, it stinks so much that the FLIs lose consciousness even as they approach, and then end up in intensive care for another week. The girl also sensed something was wrong and began whining quietly in the corner. Stop it. I won't touch you, I say, and I've already peeled my underpants off my ass, and I'm thinking about how to take them off my feet so as not to get covered in shit. In my opinion, the girl has completely lost her brain. She sits stupidly whining and wailing something, probably reading some kind of prayer, and I already lowered my panties to my knees. Man, yai, she roars, please don't kill you, and then such stupid whining. Why the hell do I need you? I say, I'm up to my neck in problems. You surrendered to me. I pulled my panties down just below my knees, and I really realized that I was completely fucked up. My legs were covered in shit, ass were covered in shit, and there was a stench. My eyes were already watering. In my opinion, the girl was completely freaked out by the smell. You. She mumbles, why are you? Stand still. I'm telling you someone gave a shit. Apparently I stepped in. That's why it stinks. My girl settled on the floor of the elevator. I think the smell almost makes me faint. But on the other hand, I understand that we cannot delay, either now or never. In short, he bent down and took off his panties from one leg. Something splashed onto the floor. According to my estimates, it was shit from underwear. The girl in the corner is already just mooing like a cow. I contrived and took off my panties from the second leg. I felt better. Half the job was done. I'm standing with panties in my hand and thinking, in which corner is this roaring little thing sitting, so as not to throw the panties on her head, and so as not to get it on my own pants. I listened. Yeah, he's sitting opposite, which means you need to aim at the opposite corner. And then the complete asshole crept up unnoticed. The lights turned on and the elevator moved. When my eyes adjusted, I realized that something was wrong with the girl. Her eyes are like 15-inch monitors. Her mouth is open. Her arms are hanging like whips. Her mouth is like a fish. In short, I still think the tower was blown away by fright. And then I understood. Picture in the elevator. I'm standing naked from the waist down, covered in shit, panties with shit in my hands, and looking at the girl. In short, she did another 5 seconds with her mouth and stupidly fell to the floor. Everything, I think, is dead. I still didn't have enough of a blind man in the elevator. I decided not to waste time and wiped my ass and legs with my underpants. I put on my pants and stood there like an honest citizen, waiting for my floor. There is a girl on the floor, probably dead. In her hands there are panties with shit in them. Why I was holding them, I don't know. When the elevator arrived, the girl had not yet come to life. She was still lying on the floor. I thought it would be inappropriate to leave her in the elevator in this state, so I pulled her out onto the floor. I carefully put my underpants under my head and ran out of this house. The only thing I can't understand is why the hell was she so scared? After all, when the elevator smells like shit, it means that someone took a shit. But if it smelled like a dick, then you might get scared. They'll rape you. Although I don't see anything terrible here either. And besides, I smeared your fur coat a little with shit and wiped my leg on it. Here is a real life story. I hope everything was fine with that girl.